You tell people you're working in private equity, you might get a response or like, oh, are you going to come in and buy the business that I love and I've known all my life and strip it of what makes it unique and make it an inferior product because it's, 5% cheaper? What would you tell that skeptic that might be listening?
I would tell them that in many cases they're not wrong, right? And we do see that a lot in private equity. Just for me personally, there are things that private equity is involved in, and I'm like, why are you guys involved in that? Like there was a local dentist that I had, right? And every time I go back, there was a different dentist, and I was like, what's going on? Like, how come we can't keep dentists? And they got bought up by a private equity company that was consolidating all these dentists, right? They're doing like car washes, veterinarians, all these kinds of things. So my service feels like it's going down, right? Because they're trying to squeeze the buck. So that absolutely does happen, right? Because they are looking at, how do you drive efficiency, optimization, improve EBITDA, grow revenue. So I will say that in some cases, private equity has done damage. And I think it's created a lot of frustration with people.
I think maybe there is out there a model for redemptive PE that hold in tension the values of human dignity and human capital and excellence and efficiency and synergy. I don't know.
You'll remember this from your studies at Messiah when we did some research with Jeff Van Duzer, right? And one of the things I liked about how Van Duzer would paint out when he talks about business is he said, really, a business fundamentally exists to produce a product or service that allows a community to flourish, right? I mean, if you think about it, we all need businesses. We need dry cleaners and restaurants and grocery stores and all those things for just humans to survive, right? And if we have more businesses that think about what are the things that I'm doing that allow my communities to flourish as opposed to taking advantage of my community so that I can benefit? And that's a human nature issue. That's a human dilemma we have, right? So I think that's where having my faith lens has helped inform that around, there's got to be more to business than just purely increasing, value to shareholders,
Right.
as Milton Friedman would say, right? It's got to do more than that, right? It also has to help communities flourish and allow those peoples to engage in creative and meaningful work. So to your point, if private equity firms or other investors can come along and say, gosh, I see a really great business here that has potential, that could even have more impact in their communities and even adjacent communities, that could be significant. And guess what? Yeah, we can make a profit, but that's the natural kind of byproduct of building a great business, right? It just naturally occurs versus I'm just going to squeeze this thing for everything it's worth. Everybody hates that company now because of what they've become. But yeah, we've made, great money.